What is good, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and in this one I'm going to be talking about the SPY and the QQQ and a couple of other stocks out there like Nvidia. I'm going to break down what's happening with the price action just to start us off during the day, what the pre-market is telling us, and also what data just came out. Before I break anything down about the pre-market, let me just mention a couple of things before starting. Firstly, I'm not a financial planner. Make sure you take none of this as financial advice whatsoever. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button. It not only benefits me, it benefits the entire community as a whole. And lastly, don't forget about the Webull link. Deposit any amount of money and you're guaranteed up to 12 free stocks, right? Worth up to $3,000 each. Anyways, let's talk about what's going on with the markets. SPY is up 0.89% in the pre-market, fighting very close to this 415 level, pumping quite nicely thanks to the Nvidia news. But for now, we need to talk about the data that just came out that's super important. We just had the initial jobless claims report at 229,000 versus the expectation of 245,000. So not too bad, and overall the market is still responding positively to this. We have the GDP numbers that came out. 4.2% is what the estimate was for the Q over Q second estimate. That's just the price index, right? And then we have the corporate profits a little bit down, but besides that, the majority of this data has been pretty decent, and the market's still holding up despite that. And on top of that, I also want to note that as the U.S. Department of Labor is saying, 229,000 was what we saw for jobless claims, with uninsured employment or uninsured unemployment. Insured unemployment. Sorry, guys, was at about 1.8 million for the week ending for the 13th. So once again, the unemployment rate is still starting to show some signs of going up, and we're going to continue to see how the market moves regardless. Now, let me just add on something else that's very important. With the whole debt ceiling, I mean, the thing is, it's still going on. We're still continuing to see debt ceiling talks. Progress has been made according to McCarthy and Biden, but we're not necessarily out of the water just yet. There's still no deal, and we have to wait for an agreement. So please be very patient, guys. If some big deal is announced on Friday, the market's going to squeeze hard. If not, we could see the market tank on Friday. So let's be very careful with this. I still am more optimistic nonetheless. Now, as for SPY, resistance is going to be around this 415 area where the 200 EMA is on the 30-minute time frame, around 415. We're going to be fighting this. If we break above this, we have the potential to fly all the way up to this next level, which is around the 418s to potentially fill the gap if we break and hold this. If we reject off of this, then you have to watch support first off around this 413.5 area. Then there's 412. And then if it breaks below that, there's 409.88 to 410. Now, for now, the charts are looking a little bit stronger, so the odds favor us trying to continue to push, but watch support and resistance. Now, let me just add that the MACD is still open, favoring the bulls a little bit more, but we're likely going to get a rejection, cool off just a little bit because the momentum is not extremely strong. And we're going to see if it could actually break this level, so watch this very carefully during the pre-market, right? Because the MACD is open, watch your 30-minute time frame. On the QQQ, if it's bullish, it's going to continue to break to the 340s. If we slow down on momentum, it's going to come down to 335, 333, and then even lower than that, which is where this imbalance happens to be. We are losing more momentum on the QQQ. It's quite overbought because we're up 2% in the pre-market. So it's gapping up pretty hard, just like SPY. So we could see the market kind of cool off a bit, like I was saying about SPY, cool off just a little bit, maybe retest the 50 EMA, then try to bounce from there. There's no guarantee we're going to come all the way down to fill the gap. I don't really think that's going to happen, but always be open-minded, right? We're losing momentum on the QQQ, so it might slow down in the morning before trying to get a bounce, and it could bounce around where the 50 EMA is, drop like $1 or $2, and then get a really nice bounce. For now, it's going to hold up quite nicely, though I don't see it like crashing. I'm just talking about a slight pullback thanks to it losing momentum and then continuing. And to add on to all of this, let me just mention that Nvidia is up almost 30%. That's helping the market so far. It's still holding up. Momentum is slowing down a bit for it, but overall, it's still, like I said before, holding up quite nicely. And there will be opportunities right over here, especially as more and more investors start to FOMO into it. All right, guys. So those are the levels to watch. the market is still favoring the bulls a little bit more, but we could see a slight pullback first as momentum is slowing down since we're up pretty big in the pre-market as we're gapping up. So a bit of a slowdown could happen as we open, and then we could get a nice bounce and just continue to hold these levels, if not push even more. Don't forget for tomorrow specifically, okay? Don't forget that we have to be watching for the debt ceiling. Tomorrow's Friday, the last Friday before Memorial Day weekend. So please be ready and do what you have to do. Thank you all so much for listening. Remain calm, cool, and collected. Market to the moon as the long term is very bright. And peace out.